a beautiful scene. The river breaking up, the North Saskatchewan River, as it flows through downtown, across downtown Edmonton. A beautiful host. As you see, the provincial capital, the legislative building for the province of Alberta. Edmonton playing host to its second World Men's Curling Championship. The iconic high-level bridge and Edmonton's light rail transit going over the North Saskatchewan River. You can jump on that to get down to Northlands Coliseum for curling action this afternoon. We bring you inside the Coliseum. Luke Coley and Swiss Elm, a two-time Olympian, world champion. Good afternoon, and it'll be fun.
This will be a great matchup here with Canada taking on Japan in men's session 13.
There should be a good crowd in the building as the teams being welcomed out. Our feature game is Canada against Japan. We are on sheet A for this one.
And playing for Team Canada at lead, Jeff Walker. Throwing the second stones, Brett Gallant. Third and vice skip, Mark Nichols. And skip, Brad Gushu.
Their opponents of Japan lead Kosuke Morizumi. Their second, Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi. Third, Tetsuro Shimizu. And their skip, Yusuke Morizumi. The national team out of Japan. As we look at the standings coming in, Canada at 8-0, just ahead of Sweden and Switzerland. Japan sitting there alone in fourth at 5-3, a big game. Followed closely Italy and the US at 4-3. While China at 4-4, Norway, Scotland 3-5, need help with 5 losses, as well as Germany, Netherlands, and Russia 0-8, looking for their first win. And they will be on the ice against one another in this draw.
Someone will for sure get a win there. The key matchups around the ice today: Sheet A, Canada, Japan. Sheet B, Italy versus Switzerland. Sheet C, the Netherlands and Russia, someone getting their first win. And on Sheet D, United States playing Germany.
All the players getting their last instruction inside this lovely venue for the World Championship. Canada continuing their unbeaten run, trying to stay atop the standings. They've clinched, at worst, a tiebreaker. A win here, they're secured a playoff spot. Well, they want more than that, Ann, don't they?
Yeah, actually, I believe a win here secures them the 1-2 game spot. So, which, with the way the playoffs are structured here at the World Championship, that is a valuable position to be in. But not only that, Team Canada is looking to solidify their connection to the ice surface, what's happening with the speed. They know that although they're undefeated at this point, that they're going to be facing tough games coming up, and they need to stay very dialed in.
And we will keep you up to date with all the other games going on. Playoff implications all around here in this one. Japan got a big win this morning against Russia to move to 5-3.
Yeah, and Japan's looking to find out whether or not they are competitive with clearly the top team in the event. They've been playing very well. They're going to need to bring their best game to the ice this afternoon in order to champion Team Canada. But Japan is unafraid of rocks in play. And if they manage the angles a little bit better than Team Canada, there's every opportunity for Japan to walk away with a huge win.
Well, and Japan will be throwing the yellow stones, wearing the white tops, the light color. Well, Canada, white, red, and black. We'll have the red stones. We will get underway, and Kosuke Morizumi will start us off, the 28-year-old will look for a better start than he did early this morning. His first stone in their game against Russia was hogged short of the house, so have to have an important game for him really to bounce back. He was in the 70s, and he struggled. Despite their runaway win against Russia, he's got to be sharp.
He really does need to be very sharp. In order to have any chance against Canada, Japan's going to need to use their front end rocks to set the table, set up opportunities that the back end's going to have to complete. And this man, Jeff Walker, has been playing outstanding at lead. So the matchup will be very tight
Right now, Brett. Whoa.
and very telling for the outcome of this game.
We're there. Mark's in. That's not terrible. Just Mark. Mark's in if you get a sweep. Whoa, you're still here. On its own, Mark. On its own. On its own. Whoa. Good.
Well, nicely done around that centerline guard.
Japan looking to put this stone on the face of the Canada stone at the top of the forefoot. It's a little bit wide on line. Trying to drag it in. Starts to curl. Sweeper's working really hard to bring this one to the face. It's a nice shot.
It's all about angles and setting them up. That comes just in front, something that Japan can use.
It's pretty good. Top 12. Whoa, let it work. Top 12. Whoa, can't bounce with this line.
We're to it.
No, gotta curl.
Top 8, top 4.
No, let it dig. Terrible line right now.
Top 4.
No.
Roll it off at all?
No. Just leave it.
Well, little miscue by Team Canada.
Ended up having more
See
weight,
if Japan can take advantage.
Those tiny little openings, whenever they're given, Japan must take advantage.
そうだね、そんなもんだと思う。
Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi, the second of this Japanese team. Both Canada and Japan were off the ice earlier. Didn't have to play the full 10 ends earlier today.
Which is actually so valuable considering both these teams are in the middle of their 4-game run at the World Championship. Each team plays at some point during the event 4 games in a row, back to back to back to back. And it's grueling.
Yeah.
And anytime you can get a little bit of a break and get off the ice early, it's going to really help you recover and get ready for the very next game you're playing, the very next draw.
Yep. I think so.
Brett Gallant, a World Junior silver medalist,
Yep.
skipping Canada to that silver medal in 2009.
Gotta go. Easy. Hard.
Holding it.
Whoa.
Yep. Roll the shooter, Jeff. Roll right over the wing.
Get it over there. Go.
Trying to get some separation on those. Japan didn't quite line up the angles the way they had hoped for.
Yeah, and Brett Gallant is having the tournament of a lifetime right now.
Not late, was it?
He is making
Perfect. Really sprung off.
every kind of shot, and he's making them in a very cool, easy, confident way.
It's really been given a lot more leadership even within this team to have his input, allowing him to discuss the strategy, of course, of skip in the junior level, and was vice skip for a couple years with Brad as well before Mark Nichols came back on board.
Yeah, and Team Canada's had a very interesting season. Japan's going to try. This one is just running on them a little bit. Likely going to come to nose here.
Well, so it's second and third.
Same way.
Advantage looks to be
A little tight there.
completely to the Canada side. That rock really needed to roll either out or in.
See the rules of play, 6 ends minimum. They're each given 38 minutes of thinking time and 1 60-second timeout where their coach can come down and confer.
So, delicate little hit and roll.
Same way.
Less.
Yep.
Less.
Just a little less. Hard.
Hard, Mark.
Hard. Gotta go. Hard. 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 No roll. No roll.
Well, don't want to roll too far, and they just come a little bit out the other side, but not fully exposed and leaving a double.
Still quite a bit is available to Team Japan. So this is the first rock we've seen on the board side of the ice, and this sheet has proved to be a little bit tricky for some of the teams playing on it. It's almost like you're playing on 2 different sheets of ice. The side of the sheet for Tetsuro Shimizu is the board side. Can run a little bit straighter.
Well, had to bring the weight down to get to the position where they were. Able to spill it far enough. Well, it's very close. Looks like they're 1-2.
Yeah, it's a really nice shot. Excellent control, really great weight, nice line read, well swept. And Canada can see just edge to edge. I think they're happy to sit nose. For Mark Nichols, his first shot of this game.
Yep. Weight's good. Whoa. Whoa. Clean. Whoa. Clean. Whoa. Whoa.
A little quiet
Whoa.
now.
Up. Oh, we don't want to roll under. We're just nose.
Comment, didn't want to roll under. Reasoning?
Because if they roll under and you make it too good, then Japan plays the draw right around, and then it's underneath 2 guards. So I think you want to leave your stone out there. You want to leave yourself something to use if Japan decides to get incredibly aggressive.
That's good.
And the other thing they know is if Japan makes this shot, Canada has a wide open hit to sit 1 and 2, separated in the rings.
Well, trading hits now in the top of the 12-foot. Canada can
Normal.
have an opportunity to lie to.
Here, quiet.
So with this hit and roll under, it's going to leave Japan with a run back using their own stone, and any sort of mistake on that gives Canada a chance to sit 4. But that just hangs out a little bit. Bit of a misread there maybe on the ice or the release for Team Canada.
Here's pretty good. The quiet side is normal, if anything.
It's a fair wide, but helpful.
Japan discussing the long roll, realizing that these Canada stones sitting around the edge of the rings are very worrisome.
Trying to throw big weight and roll pretty flat to get underneath.
They're looking to roll all the way to the back corner, so they're actually looking for a somewhat deeper roll from where skip Yusuke Morizumi pointed. And as my Japanese is not quite up to par, I'm not exactly sure if that's the A call or the B call option. And what we mean by that is that there's the primary goal of a shot, and then you also know what the best way to miss is. And again, just getting caught a little bit on the straight side, maybe the weight a hair up there. Canada now needs to roll.
Be real close. You want to roll a little.
Let's see if we can make this roll. Still
Yeah,
think it's a
and they
shot,
need to
otherwise
roll.
he's doing it.
beating your
I think you
opponent to the
wanna roll
punch,
in an
so
inch, just to be sure.
Oh, for sure. No, I want to roll behind the guard.
I don't think nose is it.
Okay.
and there's, I had mentioned earlier with Brett going down, he's
Stay a little bit
down at
more,
the other
but-
end a lot. He
Mark.
makes his, he puts on lots of miles back and forth.
Mark was a fair bit wide.
Yeah, and a lot of that is to help create confidence for a skip so that everyone is communicating and very clear on what the goals of each shot are. And there's no doubt happening for Brad Gushu or anyone else on their team.
Whoa! Little more than you, Mark. Close, yep! Whoa!
Well, they want to make the roll behind the center line guard. They've been good all week in making these. Oh, very nice.
Really nice shot there. And that's going to be a bit of a tester for Yusuke Morizumi and Team Japan. We get a nice look at the roll here. Look at that angle. Just hit maybe a little bit thick, but still in a great spot, leaving half that rock wide open. And with that really excellent roll, and Team Japan knowing that they're in a tough situation, talking about a couple of the different options. If they hit the back one that they can see, they're basically conceding 2 or potentially setting up a double for 3. I think they do need to, if they want to concede 2, draw to the face of the rock in the top of the forefoot.
You have to roll a long way to avoid that double of the top one.
Yeah, and you know, this is a tester. You do not want to come anywhere near your rock in the top 12 foot here. You can see how close that is. It looks just a little bit more than edge to edge, maybe an extra inch of the rock in the back 12 foot.
Look a little
Is
different in the
available.
hack as well, probably for the right-handed throwing skip. Nose hit will lie second, and not even really a look at that double. And
No,
right now,
no
get your
need.
2.
Even a little more wouldn't
No
hurt.
need.
Yeah.
Team Canada knows that a 2-point lead from the
I don't
first
see
end.
the sense in taking on the double.
Here we
Thanks,
go.
Brad.
Thanks, Brad. It's like he can hear us up here and is answering
Button
us.
speed, eh, Jeff?
Yeah. Mine slid nice. Second one.
I think it quickened up a little bit in their practice, and then came back down to ours.
And there's just the confirmation of weight from the front end. All these teams talking weight, what needs to be thrown, different paths on the ice. So the last stone, Brad Gushu, a full 8 foot and an early deuce.
Line's good. Felt like it was there.
For T-line.
Whoa. No, line's good. You got backing. Back 4.
You to this.
No, T.
Keep the brush down. You're on this one.
And not a problem, right down to it. Gushu and Canada, as they've done so often, scoring 2 in the first, have that 2-0 advantage after 1.
good one or the slower
Well, look inside
3. This one's a slower one.
the Northlands Coliseum. Second time hosting
1 is what I threw second.
the World
last time.
Championship.
I threw 31 last time.
The third time in Alberta.
I threw 31.
Last time was 2007, 10 years ago.
Anyways,
Was Canada winning that one. Jeff Walker will start us off now in the second end after Canada strikes early with a deuce.
Canada really only had one half shot that end, and it was a nose hit by third Mark Nichols. Other than that, lots of good rocks in play. We might maybe call Jeff Walker's second shot a little bit heavy, but
you're here, Mark.
Japan did not take appropriate advantage of the angles or the opportunities, and Canada was left with a wide open draw to the 8-foot for their score of 2. This is going to force Japan to be fairly aggressive fairly early. Kosuke Morizumi, brother to skip Yusuke Morizumi, throwing the corner guard. Just trying to drag that rock to about the midway point.
Important to get these corner guards because they know it's going to be tough against Canada, generate offense. Canada coming in, points for and against, they're plus 42. And they've only given up 6 deuces all week long.
And I think it's only 1 steal of a single point.
Yeah, only 1 steal.
And so you have to take advantage of having the hammer with them. That is really your only chance at this point. They've defended so well.
Last time it slid pretty good. Line's good, yep.
And their hammer efficiency, so scoring 2 with the hammer, has been really excellent.
Not quite there.
Just leave it, it's over curling.
Now that said, the position of these corner guards, you can see the Japanese corner guard here.
Really close,
I think it's
maybe?
just a little bit high.
A little slower?
We've seen them use this positioning a couple of games in a row, and I think it's created enough opportunity for their opposition to get around and behind with how much curl the ice is having.
Ideally, you want to have there's the 2 sets of decals on the ice. The Ford logo is sort of maybe a little bit above the Ford logos where you're looking for that height.
Yeah, just real tight to the Ford logo. And the reason for that being is if you're closer than the Ford logo, then it's much easier to run. And if you're too long, then it's really easy to come around. With the 2-point lead and 2 rocks in the rings, Brett Gallant's going to play the single peel.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, and it's a patient approach as we look at all the games. She beat Italy, Switzerland, blank first. Same thing, Netherlands, Russia, and keep it 3 for 3, US and Germany. All blanks out there. We will keep you up to date throughout this draw. It may seem like a simple task, but now it's important. Keep putting these guards out in front.
Yeah, and replacing a rock that was put there by another player, right? So they're trying to put the corner guard back. Each player has a little bit of a unique release or slide, so managing that becomes very critical, and really well done by Team Japan. That's the ideal position, I think, for a corner guard on this ice from what we've been seeing. Just touching the top of that Ford logo. It is really one of the great things about playing at a World Championship with all of the marketing information on the surface of the ice. It might look busy, but it gives players a sense of awareness of space, distance,
Reference
time.
points.
As we get a look at the coach's bench, Hatomi Nagoka, longtime coach for Team Japan.
Okay.
15 years to be exact. And on that one,
Yeah, she is a significant presence on the bench for Team Japan. This rock looking a little long, just a little short, or light. Sweeper's really working to drag it to the good position. No problem.
There's the Canadian bench on the left. Jules Ochar. In the middle with the binoculars. Tom Sallows, their alternate.
Should be drawing the button.
A little wider.
And Jules actually honored before the game. He came out with a former player of his that he coached in Mark Kennedy. He was honored for one of the events that was held here at this venue in 2009. Canadian Olympic Trials, won by Kevin Martin. And Mark Kennedy, the second on that team, came out.
And of course, that team went on to champion the Olympic Games and bring a gold medal, or keep the gold medal in Canada, actually, as it were.
It's been 3 straight for the Canadian side at the Olympic Winter Game, the men's side.
Yeah, and of course, the person that started that run
is on the ice.
Brad Gushu.
Along with Mark Nichols, who is the third on that team. 3/4 of the team is in the building, actually, with
Russ Howard, who called the game and threw second stones.
Now doing commentary on the Canadian television. But play behind this corner guard now. That's what Japan wants. They want to try and have a guard to use. But kicks that one over. That yellow, it's going to be tough to come into play.
Just stuffs that Canada stone right underneath the corner. Now they're staggered under the corner.
Right in front of it, though. Kind of wait. Good board. Okay.
What are we throwing? Good board?
Good board, yeah.
I like that. Those are a little high.
Yeah. Whoa.
Good board.
Wait.
What a steady release from Mark Nichols. Having an incredible season. Just incredible season. There is nothing he can't do right now, as he stepped in and played skip for this team for the majority of the tour season, while Brad Gushu was recovering from an injury.
Just rolled a rock too much.
Yeah, and for Mark, hoping for a couple things here. Hopefully he can win a world championship, and as well as wife is expecting, she can hold out till he gets home. With their second child.
Yeah, it's even more impressive. Mark's playing with a bit of distraction and doing so very well. Now this draw here, the freeze attempt to the corner of the forefoot. An opportunity for Japan. Canada rolled maybe half a rock too far on the last shot. The feverish sweeping from the Japanese front end.
Just not enough. They had the opening. And there, that's what the shot that if you're going to beat this Canadian side, you need to come up with those shots. As you see, they worked hard, but Morizumi, Yamaguchi couldn't get it there.
Yeah, and this is where we're seeing maybe the effects of that 4-game run in a row. And the Japanese team really sweeps every rock. As we take a look over onto sheet B, Italy and Switzerland.
Solid board.
Switzerland facing,
it's very close.
Yeah, but it looks like an opportunity for 2 here for Team Switzerland. A draw to the 8-foot. They do have backing in the form of 2 Italian stones in the back of the 12-foot.
And this Swiss team has some momentum going. They played Canada in their first game, lost that one, and have won 6 straight.
Yeah, and they sit in 3rd place and can move up into the 2nd place position with a win today.
And it is good for the deuce by Switzerland, as you'll hear the Hop Swiss.
And a nice hit and stick for Brad Jacobs. I mean, for Brad Gushu. Sorry about that.
Same country, different Brad.
Yeah, different Brad. Another Olympic champion.
The reigning.
So yeah, I've got Canadian Olympic champions on my mind here as watching this game.
What are they looking at now, right? Tough to make the double and leave that, or are they trying to just open up to...
Yeah, I think they're trying to open up here. There is a chance that they can play something a little creative where you might get a little action off a couple of rocks. I think he's looking to angle these back at the Canadian stones and push them out of the 8-foot. Roll to the other side. Maybe activate the yellow stone on the side of the 8-foot. Angle, tap,
Look
and
at that.
beautiful shot.
Wow, great recognition of angles and chips them out to Lai's shot. There's a smile. Yusuke Morizumi, watch this one.
Look at this, just perfect. Kiss, kiss, gone, gone.
It just throws a nice weight that doesn't overthrow it.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, Team Canada's wondering, maybe we should have peeled that corner when we played the freeze.
We just played the in. Yeah. I'll have a look from
So with that great
Stop it, hey?
shot by Team Japan, Team Canada with a delicate run back takeout for their skip slash shot.
Do you like the red back? I think we got a little bit more wiggle room.
Thin half?
I got about a third.
I mean this.
Oh, that. Yeah, I'm just debating which one. Let's play the pick.
Okay.
Yeah, just.
Well, it doesn't look... Obviously, there's enough from the hack that Brad's going to play this.
Yeah.
I like this. I think right here wide enough. I don't think it's going to go crazy. Just come up a little bit for you.
I agree.
I like it. Feel?
Yeah.
So they're playing peel. Now, there is a chance that the rock will run on them in this spot. But they're confident they can see enough. The ice is tight enough.
Yep.
Well, right out of Brad's hand, his final stone.
Clean is a good sign in this spot in the ice.
We'll pick that one out. Well, just the one in the top. We'll have a blank. Didn't look like that a couple shots ago, but the triple made and the pick by Gushu.
Nifty little shot he made.
Yeah, I don't know if he was trying that.
I think so, but this is there.
The front end from Team Canada wondering if Japan was trying that shot. I'm pretty sure, knowing Japan's command of angles and love of the run back, that this man, Yusuke Morizumi, definitely called that shot and threw it and executed it in a beautiful way.
Now, last stone needs to hit, roll out, to hold on to hammer. And he will do just that. So
And
the blank means a 2-0 game after 2 ends of play.
In the universe that is distinctively curling, the stars have now aligned to deliver the world's ultimate showdown to the world's entertainment capital. Whether you're a storied veteran of events past or a future superfan anxious to attend your first, this is the one. The 2018 World Men's in Las Vegas with our most popular package, the 9-day, 10-night hit and stay for 2 people for just $20.29.
Las Vegas rocks.
Well, good afternoon again. Luke Coley and Swiss Elm, the Ford World Men's Curling Championship. Canada, Japan, both teams sitting in playoff position. Coming in, Japan in that 4 spot, just barely at 5-3, while Canada is at 8-0 and a 2-0 Canada lead over Japan.
Yeah, and I think the Japanese just created a little bit of surprise and a wonderful shot in the second end. And I know we ended up with a blank, but lots of great angles, rocks in play. Exciting stuff for Team Japan. And that must give them a little bit of a boost, some confidence, knowing that their skip is seeing shots really well and throwing them beautifully.
Yeah, he got his team out of some trouble. He made 2 great shots to get the blank. Now they need to regroup, and the front half of the team, front 3 quarters, need to put him in a little bit better position.
Yeah, you don't want to test your skip with a run double takeout every single time. But Yusuke might be up for that challenge today. He knows what an important game this is, and skips know that they need to do what they need to do given the circumstances when they sit in the hack.
Right here. Over curling a little bit.
Mobile jump over sheet D. You see Daniel Herberg in the house holding the broom, facing a couple of U.S. counters. Alex Baumann, the German skip.
For a hit and roll to score his single.
Germany, slim chances. He's got to try and actually make that double. Jams it, and it is a steal of 1. So a single point for the States. Must win. They come in at 4-3. Seeing Japan win earlier. How much do you look at the scoreboard, Anna? For a team like the U.S., you're off this morning, you come in. You probably know what's happened in the morning draw.
Well, you know what's happened in the morning draw, but for teams to champion this event, they need to focus on what's directly in front of them in the moment that they're given. If they start worrying about things they don't control over much, they're going to end up being very disappointed with where their energy goes. So USA trying to focus over there with a 1-point lead against Germany, doing what they need to do. And here, Brett Gallant doing what he needs to do and doing it well, peeling. Team Japan's going to spend a little bit of rocks and a little bit of time out in front of the rings.
Try and put that guard back out in front. This Japan team finished 4th a year ago. But they want to try and get back to the playoffs, improve that record. But the way they're sitting right now, they keep things going the last little bit, trying to qualify outright to get directly to the Olympic Winter Games. And that's a big deal for this Japanese side.
Yeah, there hasn't been a Japanese men's team in the Olympics since Japan was the host nation in 1998. And with the 4th place finish last year, the amount of points Japan has, it looks very good for them. And the way they're playing this week, I don't want to say the Olympic berth at the end of this week is inevitable because anything can happen and strange things do happen in sports. But the way they're playing, the confidence they're showing, the expertise and the professionalism that they've got going, there's no reason to think that they won't get the automatic spot, which would be huge for Japanese curling.
And that Olympic qualifying, that's a 2-year cycle the last 2 years based on your results at the World Championship.
Yeah, so that fourth place finish last year garnered them a significant amount of points, and it allows them 8 points, 9 points actually, sorry, 9 points, and any kind of top half finish likely guarantees them a top 7 finish is what they need in the 2-year qualification process for that spot in the Olympics. But in order to do that, and I'll say this a lot, they've got to focus on what's right here in front of them, and that's Brad Gushu and Team Canada.
Well, Gallant put one right on the nose of those stones on the center line.
Yeah, change the angles. Just when you think they're going to peel, Canada changes it up on you, plays a freeze, plays a delicate little touch shot, and forces high-level execution out of Team Japan here.
Now Japan's turn. They're trying to change their angles. They roll a little underneath, and they get in second shot.
Yeah, and you can see there, those angles are really in Japan's favor.
Yeah, it's right here.
Broom length.
Halfway.
And with
Halfway.
that,
Yep.
now it's Team Canada's turn to stall out in front of the rings a bit with a guard.
Sliding good?
Yeah.
Not give access to the double takeout that's available for Team Japan right now.
Just pass half.
Mark Nichols
A little bit, Jeff.
Halfway.
throwing this clockwise rotating guard.
Broom length.
Line being managed by Jeff Walker.
Really tight.
Okay, well then, we'll just clean it then.
Around the
Just clean,
forward
Jeff.
there, a little short of the forward.
Just clean. Oh, that's good.
And
Nice shot,
we
Mark.
talked about earlier using those as reference and guiding points. The Ford logo, where they want it, just out in front, even with that other stone.
Good. Good.
So bumper is the call here.
ちょっと重い。ああ、ちょい重か。ちょい重いわ。そんなもん、ちょっと重めかなぐらい。
So bumper is the reference to the weight of the stone. It's a down weight takeout. Right out of hand, they're sweeping. That must have been a little narrow. Trying to hold line, keep the angles to their favor.
Just slightly rolls off the face. That yellow, not bad, but if that one stopped a half a rock on the other side or nose on that stone in the forefoot.
Yeah, it does open up a little bit, and that's what Canada's going to try and remove.
We can be fairly aggressive with the roll.
Seem to be able to hold it here.
Yeah, just here actually.
Okay.
Being aggressive, knowing that they can, a long roll isn't the end of the world.
Yep.
I like this. It's good ice. Board weight.
So in the long roll, actually would put the shooter kind of between.
Yep. Yep. Here,
Also
big.
take a look,
Go back.
USA,
Go for it.
Germany over on sheet
Gotta go
D,
really
and
hard.
again, US lying multiple stones.
Hard.
Alexander Baumann drawing this time. He played a hit in the first.
Okay.
Needs the button here in order to get one.
Yeah, it needs to make a really good shot. And the sweeper's working furiously to drag this down to the USA stone in the back of the forefoot, side of the button.
Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go,
Well, got to move it now, and they will move it far enough, so able to get their one. Germany, USA, all square after 3 on sheet D.
押せるなら押した方がいいね。
ここにしようか。フリーズかい？あ？フリーズ？あ、はい。
Here was the roll over by Mark Nichols. Tetsuro Shimizu. Team Japan do have the hammer. They're lying second shot.
Block it. Nice, good.
When do they make their move on shot stone?
Nice, good.
Well,
Go.
if you make it too early, Canada's just going to throw some heat and double you out or play a little run. So I think you have to be very patient for Team Japan. Create the angles and they get a little kiss and redirect and still make the shot.
Actually works out because it was going to over curl and they may not have had a play on it if it gets by that stone.
Yeah. So now Japan's got a little bit of control, and I think you have to be willing to wait until the last shot to be shot if you're Japan against Team Canada.
Board weight though, you get 2.
It's an uncomfortable feeling sometimes, so
You're probably right.
sometimes need to be
Well,
comfortable being
when you guard
uncomfortable.
it and he does this, it's definitely only for 2 at the most, maybe not even. Because it's dragging into it.
Unless you were to chip the 8 first.
He doesn't have
Eh?
enough to get under
Unless you were to chip off the 8 first.
Yeah,
Just,
but
you
in
know,
all
like-
likelihood that might spring. But
I know, but
I know what you're saying.
It's there.
We still have one more. He's not playing it yet.
No.
You want to make this one first?
No, I like the guard first. Garden? Yeah.
Middle?
How deep?
Probably deeper.
Well, they want to take away the
Just hate for
yellow
him to
red
freeze
tap.
again and then
How deep? You
How
like
deep?
this then?
no. I think we got to go here somewhere.
Yep.
So yeah, so they're looking to guard,
Just off the line.
knowing that Canada's got a couple of other options out there on the left side of your screen. Right now, Skip's first stone going to be to block that very large looking tap to sit 3 for Japan.
Real tight.
Hold it. Line's good. Couple
Line's
feet
real
short.
good.
Whoa.
Biting.
Whoa, man. Not
just
quite.
out.
Just whoa, let it work.
I don't think we need both on.
Line's good.
Might have to finish it a bit.
Foot short.
Yep, gotta go a bit.
Yep.
Gotta go a bit. Close hold.
Yep.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. That's good. Good. Cut.
Well placed. Was wanting to take away the simplest shot for Japan.
Oh. 後ろが出ちゃうんで縦だと。こういうところからまだ受けてさ出せるし、それやられるとうちが最後平行線いいね。
So Japan looking at the double peel.
Jump over Italy and Switzerland on sheet B. 6-1 Switzerland, 4-3 Italy.
And it is all Switzerland right now. They have the 4 foot surrounded. And Amos Mozaner from Italy needs to draw his final stone into full 4 foot. Bring the Swiss within 1 point.
And a path where no real backing yet, so it need to be cold draw to the 4 foot. Now it goes to that backing if they need it, but doesn't need it at all, right to the tee line. And the young Italian 4th stone thrower has been fabulous so far. 2-1 over there.
An up weight peel attempt.
Well, miss, maybe trying to throw too much, and the only stone that goes out of play is his shooter.
Yeah, and this just runs on him. Just ticks.
What kind of weight we looking? This is well to throw peel, I guess, eh?
I think that peel that you've
Yeah.
been throwing.
Yep. Third.
Quarter off.
Third to a quarter.
Yeah. Love to try to.
You like this? Trying to stuff it in there.
I'd love to lie too. It's
Yeah?
tough.
Try and lie 2 out of it.
So Canada looking to run the wide stone in.
Fairly thin. Yeah. Come on, an inch more, Mark.
So big weight here. Slash it into those stones on the forefoot.
Yep, 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 yes, hard, really hard, hard.
Go thin, right onto the yellow, and there it goes. Second shot, though, is still that one top of the forefoot. But Ann, how do you get there?
I think you might have to either run your slash your Yellowstone in from the wing there that you can see right closest to us.
Yeah.
Just over curls a bit for Team
A
Canada.
little funny.
So Japan is going to play the run. They're electing to use the corner guard. They really only need to touch their stone. I believe this is likely 4-1.
Yeah, before that tick on that guard, it might have been potential to go into that red and sort of pinball a little bit, but.
Yeah, the other option is that they might be able to use the red stone on the top of the rings, but it's always dangerous to use your opposition rock, and the angles are a little tough, but it is shorter. Still with great management of angles as we saw in the second end.
Well, last stone, third end. Yusuke Morozumi.
It's going to need that great angle management once again.
Stop. Stop.
Lots of room still.
Well, nothing yet. Sweepers come up, and will he get fortunate on it?
Oh, and he does.
That's an excuse me single right there by Japan. You always can tell by a sweeper's reaction. They sort of looked up. This isn't good.
And a wry smile from
What
Brad
can you do?
Gushu. You can't do anything about that. And that's the nature of the game.
Watch
Here we
it.
go. Kiss, redirect, redirect, and
We'll take our one.
one yellow.
That's how you draw it up, to take a single point there by Team Japan.
You know, I'll give Japan credit. That's great awareness. They had options.
Well, means a single and a 2-1 Canadian lead. We head to the fourth end. Well, back inside Northland's Coliseum, Luke Coley and Swiss Elm, the Ford World Men's Curling Championship. The first stone comes in after, I won't say excuse me, they played it the right way, that they could get some results. It wasn't the shot they called. They got there.
Well, it wasn't the exact, it is the shot they called, but it wasn't the exact way they called it. But again, I think, you know, I'm going to give some credit to Team Japan here for recognizing that there are some options. I mean, again, you would never draw it up that way, as you pointed out, but this is round things hitting round things, and the way they spin, the way they move, it worked out perfectly for Team Japan.
And to further that point is they didn't overthrow it. You throw big weight, you may not get that reaction. It may not curl up a little bit at the end that it did to have a chance. The sweepers didn't like it the whole way, but just control hit weight. Japan's able to get their one. Canada not all that happy that they get one that way, but at the same time, it was available. A pretty well played end by both sides.
Yeah, and as we can see, the front end here, Kosuke Morizumi coming into this game playing 85%, 84% for tournament accuracy, setting the table nicely. He does have a bit of an uphill battle as he is playing against Jeff Walker, Team Canada, who comes into this event at 91%, just playing really steady, easy, making almost all of his shots.
That's nice. Keep it moving. Just out. Go then. Keep it moving. Hard. Get in here.
And a large part of these
Hard. You got it.
players'
Hard, guys.
accuracy ratings, these percentages of made shots, goes to the sweepers that you're seeing right here. The credit goes to their teammates who sweep them correctly, to the skip who sets the brush down correctly for the target, and all the communication down the way.
Soft release on that. Good slide, just a little.
Well, always trying to be better. Your Canadian team talking about release. Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi, 83% tournament accuracy.
Yeah, and he had a little bit of a soft start coming into the event, but of late has played in, 3 out of 4 games in the 90s. So he's really coming up statistically, settling into the conditions, the environment, the crowd, the pressure.
Well, Ann, you alluded to it earlier in the game. Canada only given up 1 steal against.
No, board is good. I don't
So
care
really
if you're all
important
out,
that you
right?
try and get forces.
Yeah, and
Half to a third.
I only have a.
Canada scored more deuces in this event than they have single points with the hammer.
yeah, everything seems pretty easy and pretty big for Team Canada. And I think this player right here is one of the reasons for that. Like his lead, he's at 91%, but this morning's game, he played 100%. Just easy communication.
Close. Right off. No.
Close.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
Watch the shooter, Mark.
And really patient.
Yeah, go ahead. Good shot.
I mean, what a beautiful shot. I mean, just so easy.
You come to expect that shot is going to be made the way they want every time, the way that they have things going.
Calm, cool, collected. Brett Gallant really enjoying, I think, his role on this team at second. And the kind of additional responsibility that came his way during the skip's absence earlier this season.
それがここかそれだったらこっちの方がいいかなと思ったけど Wait, good. Hack. Three. Whoa. Okay. Okay.
Well, those two well protected underneath, and
Back to the center line, side.
this one will make the hit and roll off to the side. We'll look in U.S. Germany over on sheet D.
John Schuster needing to thread a very tight port for a score of 2 points. Trying to guide it through this port. Must get through, must get through. Wonderful shot there. Score of 2 points.
That was a weird run.
Lots of emotion, some happiness there. It's Team USA takes a 3-1 lead after 4 ends over Germany.
Yeah, the U.S. trying to take care of business, and hopefully our North American friends can do them a favor as well and bring Japan back. It could be a 2-game swing there, just like that.
No, right to it.
Little bump.
Yeah.
Curling. Don't lose
You're
it.
still bumping it. Well, we're lining up.
Line it up.
Whoa. Okay.
I meant line up.
Yeah. What's that?
I meant line it up onto that.
If we get it lined up straight and he plays the peel, it's going on with.
Yeah, I'm taking a lesson from deadweight Walker here to get on a little bit.
Tetsuro Shimizu, again, having a really great event at 82%.
Hack down, hack down, hack down, hack down, hack down, hack down.
Needing a little tap here. Trying to get as much of that stone as they can. And
Very nice to avoid touching their own.
that's a huge shot. Take control of the angles. Take control of the top of the rings in front of the button.
Nose is actually okay. Yeah. Let's do that right on the nose.
Of course, he is playing against the top performing third in the field, Mark Nichols.
They're all playing against the top performing field. Everyone's in the 90s on that team.
Actually, there's one player throwing better than one of the Canadian players, and that's Michael Goodfellow from Scotland. Is just ahead of Jeff Walker, but Mark Nichols in tournament accuracy sitting at 90%, firmly atop the third standings.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Yep. Hard. Hard. Gotta go, guys. Hard.
This rock really moving here in the last part of the rings.
Okay.
Hard sweeping Walker and Gallant, no problem.
It's a little late.
I think Canada was hoping to roll to the outside or sit at nose, force Japan to a hit and a roll as opposed to leaving this opportunity, which sets up the freeze.
Lock this one on, and it can take a bit of an end away that Canada has built up.
And it's team sweep there right at the end. Get that rock as far as they can.
And they can hear it in their mics.
I think so.
The deep breathing. They're trying to catch their breath.
Looking to recover, and
a little less.
all of a sudden, with that rock coming up just a little bit light.
Hard. They got to the nose with hack.
Do you want the same or a little more?
Same.
Okay.
Oh, it's a great reset for Mark Nichols. He had a little bit of doubt, double checks. He stands all the way up in the hack, sits back down, resets himself. He's going to give himself every opportunity to make this shot as accurately as possible.
Yep. Nice board. Just a little more than the last. Whoa, man. Close. Yep. Whoa.
Stick with the shooter, Jeff.
Well, catch the angle.
Trying to spring it, and they do.
Good. More weight than your last. That was board weight in that one.
Get by with a little bit of room, and it does curl up to avoid touching their own. Japan has to be careful with these stones. hanging around that.
Yeah, all of a sudden, look at that. Oh, there's a lot of red in those rings.
ちょっと被ってるんだけどね、でもバンパーとかならちょうどいいと思う。
The double on.
I think they're looking to play the high side and roll a little bit away, create some separation, sit 1 and 2 in the 8-foot.
That double just looks like you're flirting a lot. Too much to those top stones as well.
Yeah, I don't know that he's going to try and go to nose. I do think he is going to play this double. Well, I don't know. It's going to be tough for Yusuke Morizumi, and playing at 78% coming into this event, this game. He's going to need a pretty significant shot here to escape some potential drama.
Yeah, that's a big difference between him and his counterpart in Brad Gushu, who's up at 92. Is that one will jam, roll away. And just like that, it does open the 4-foot up.
Yeah, I think so. We can get there with Hack. Sure.
Yeah, and with the rolling away of the shooter, just heading a little bit too much on the outside. Canada pretty confident that they can hit and sit 1, 2, 3, and 4
Oh, it's okay though.
with the hammer.
A little bit more, Mark. I'm gonna make sure we get it enough to bump it to the back 12 anyway. So Hack or a couple feet more.
Actually, good hack.
And we take a look at Brad Gushu.
It's good speed, yeah.
He is sitting at 93%. That is the top performing player in the field.
Heavy Hack.
At the skip position.
Not just the skip, but the top performing player in the field.
Clean. Pass the Hack.
No, not much.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
Hack weight.
Whoa. Up. Go ahead, Brad.
Oh, as soon as it goes around this,
Roll the shooter. Roll the shooter. No. Roll it.
I'll try and punch this one all the way through. They want to roll it away so that the hit rolls further, and something they have. If Japan can wrap one around. Well, Brad liking his situation, not quite liking their situation as much as Switzerland, and Benoit Schwartz, 4th stone thrower for Switzerland, has to draw the 4-foot.
against a bunch of unfriendly colored granite in Italian red rocks.
This game a battle of two teams with 4th stone throwers. It's Benoit Schwartz and Amos Mosiner.
Yeah, as Valentin Tanner and Claudio Patz guide that stone, no problem, right to the button.
So 3-1 Switzerland leading Italy. Switzerland trying to win their 7th straight game and keep pace with Sweden, who has the afternoon off, and they'll face each other this evening.
Yeah, as Japan is in a world of hurt here and looking at potential game for Team Canada. There's the situation facing skip Yusuke Morizumi. He needs a draw all the way into the 4-foot, wrapping around, hopefully freezing on the corner, creating a difficult shot for Brad Gushu.
A 2-1 game, but pivotal one.
This is the shot for the game right here. You never wanted to be coming as early as the 4th end, but that's the reality. Weight's very nice. Weight's very close. Now it's all about line, positioning.
Well, and that's why Gushu wanted to be open, because that one wraps right around.
Yeah, and it is pretty much wide open, but that's really as good as Morizumi could have done given the set of circumstances he was facing. Now it's up to Brad Gushu.
Right on the nose.
3-foot run back
For a handful.
for a handful. That is correct. There you can see those angles. Needs to hit right on the nose. I don't think he's going to overthrow it here. Nice control weight.
Oh, last stone for Canadian skip, Brad Gushu.
Hard! Yes! Hard, Jeff! Hard!
Must have been a little tight.
All the way on
Does
this one.
Japan have a life?
Straight back, and we'll clip it. Does it stick around? Sit for 5.
It does.
There is a handful. The Maple Leaf flown here in Edmonton. Brad Gushu and Team Canada with this one. Jeff Walker makes that one for the skipper. They score 5 and a 7-1 lead. Dominant.
In the universe that is distinctively curling, the stars have now aligned to deliver the world's ultimate showdown to the world's entertainment capital. Whether you're a storied veteran of events past or a future superfan anxious to attend your first, this is the one. The 2018 World Men's in Las Vegas with our most popular package, the 9-day, 10-night hit and stay for 2 people for just $20.29.
Las Vegas rocks.
Well, the crowd's settling down after a 5 spot. First time Canada's put a 5 up. They put 4 up twice before that. That was 5. Now controlling this one. They have been, well, for lack of better terms, just dominant and head and tails above other teams so far this week. We saw the percentages last end. They've only made it to 10 ends, having to force to the 10th end twice so far this event.
Yeah, and it was the opening game, Team Switzerland, where everyone was getting comfortable, trying to get comfortable settling into the ice, and the ice was a little bit frosty. There was some humidity in the air that day. Maybe not the perfect playing conditions. So they played 10 ends there, and then they played 10 ends against Sweden and Nicodine. But other than that, Canada really hasn't faced a significant challenge. And now they're looking at an opportunity to maybe go through this round robin undefeated.
Yeah, which has only been done twice before, including winning the championship. But
right, which is the main goal.
Yeah.
But now they've got a couple of other records that they can be part of. Legendary performances and for other Team Canadas who have gone undefeated.
well, Kerry Burtnick did in '95 when he went 11-0. That was before they went to the 12-team field. And then in 1980, Rick Folk 10-0, winning the world titles those years. But do you think maybe there's a little extra pressure coming from the Canadian women's team and Rachel Homan saying, hey guys, we went perfect?
We did it. Rachel did it in an extraordinary fashion at the Women's World Championship that finished up 10 days or so ago in Beijing, China. She was the first women's team to ever do it.
Yes.
So
The first one only 2 men's teams have, so see.
yeah, it is a tall order. These teams are all really excellent teams. And but with that, there is no doubt the class of the field right now is Team Canada and Brad Gushu leading them with a nice, easy performance every single time they're stepping out here.
Yep.
When one of the top records at this World Championship is back when it was held here 10 years ago, Glenn Howard. He went 12-1 on the way to a world title. His only loss coming on the Wednesday night draw to Team USA in draw 14. Otherwise, a perfect record for him.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, it was a bit of a strange score. It was 3-1.
It was pretty low scoring.
It was pretty low scoring affair where the U.S. skip at the time, Todd Burr, really didn't allow any offense to be generated.
You may remember something like that. A little bit before that in 2003 when you won your World Championship title.
Yeah, we took on an undefeated team, Colleen Jones, in the final, and by virtue of a couple of nice opportunities, we were able to prevent Colleen from being that first team at the Women's Worlds to go undefeated throughout.
So uphill battle as we look over USA and Germany. 3-1, US leading. See the vice skip, Daniel Herberg, and that German stone in the top of the 8-foot.
And Alex Baumann with a chance to draw his last stone into that 8-foot and tie this game up with Team USA.
What's good? What's good? What's good?
もう一個
Well, playing the draw across the center to the 8-foot, able to get there too. And they're all square over on sheet D as they head to their 5th end break.
And Japan looking to create any kind of offense,
2ちょい3だ3
needing rocks in play in front of the rings.
2
Trying to put the guard up there. Well done. Now, Canada can see the rock in the 4-foot, so it's about making choices for Team Canada.
Third.
Forward weight.
So they're going with board weight. They are going to go after the rock in the rings. If this should over curl, they can tick the guard in front. A couple of options here.
Board.
Whoa.
Just board.
Close, John.
Just board. Quiet.
Yep. Yes. Yep. Hard. 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 Stay down, Jeff.
Well, past the front and noses that. Hoping for a little roll. Or is that just trying to get too precise for them?
Sweden cup.
Now, because by virtue of the score, Japan cannot afford to take rocks out of play. They need to find that these Canadian stones are their friends. Freeze to them, tap them around, create traffic, develop some positive angles, try and generate a little bit of offense. Sweepers working furiously to get this one down into the right spot. Over curls just a little bit there. Nice
But
weight.
a stone in play is something try to build upon. Tough though, looking behind him, seeing that 5 in the scoreboard, and
Do you want a little more weight or same?
No less.
Japan knows they still have a tough finish as well. It doesn't get easier for them after this one. They get Switzerland and China on the final day of round robin. Both these teams will play a split day tomorrow morning, and then the night.
Clean.
Same weight.
Yeah, both these teams have the evening off, well-earned rest after the 4-game run.
Off.
Yellow, Jeff.
I'm gonna move that one. Okay, good shot.
You hear a little bit of disappointment from Brad Gushu there, looking for every inch out of every rock.
That's what I just
Stick it.
said. I'd sweep it and go into it, but
Trying to use that pocket will lead Team Japan now. Look over Italy and Switzerland. And Italy. Not much doing. Thought maybe it might be looking at the split effort. He will be throwing this one through.
He's going to hang on to the hammer in the second half of the game. They head into the break. Switzerland 3, Italy 1.
8
Well, pretty good effort trying to keep it in the pocket. Moves it just a little bit. Those stones behind the tee line are your friend.
Yeah, they're your only friend right now, and it might be a little bit disconcerting for Japan that it's
just off the 3 here.
the opposition color.
No.
Just a touch in the back of that.
My first thought is this.
Yeah. Then
touches
it's wide.
that.
Then he's got the freeze, but it's open.
Well, if we stuff it,
If
it's
you
okay.
stuff it,
Yeah,
you're
you're
killing this.
That's probably okay, Mark.
I mean, it's thin.
How easy does it go? Well, all that spin is going to kick it. Yeah,
Well, it's going to spin the other way.
third to a
where-
quarter. No, I'm just saying if we nut it there, this one's going to kick a little
Oh, it
this
should.
way.
It misses this one for sure. You're going to be line 3.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you looking for?
I think a third to a quarter.
Third to a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like this? I mean, I'm fine with playing this one too, but I think this is the best result.
I think you got to go a little high side, Jeff. I think nose goes into the 4-foot one.
Great discussion there.
Everyone's input.
Everyone's involved.
Like
and
it's easy to get out. It's just what we leave him, right? Yeah. Like I could hit 3/4 high side on it, but then he just lobs one in there.
Well, I
and
was
we can't
wondering
get
if
it
he
out.
knows this is a shot.
Yeah.
This is good.
Jeff Walker, nice little calm. This is good.
Third
This
to a
is the
quarter.
shot. Brett
A little less.
confirming exactly where they want to hit. Just going to run that top 8-foot rock into the Japanese rock. And they're happy to lose a couple of the Canadian stones in the back of the button.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep. Whoa, whoa. Yep, yep.
Well, they're hoping, as they said, stuff it so that it just stuck in the top of the 4-foot. Roll off just a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, they were hoping to sit right on center line, top of the 4-foot.
Still nice. It's good.
Freeze is still very difficult, and it's a small little window that could just be a big blast to try and get everything out.
Yeah, most importantly for Canada was leaving themselves an open shot with the last one. So Japan's going to play a little tap here, the rock on the top of the button, and create what they hope is an unmanageable pocket for Brad Gushu and Team Canada. Nice steady setup. Consistently doing the same thing every single time he throws. Looking for a clockwise rotation on the release.
It's good. Thank you.
Has not played terribly in this game.
And the whirling dervish footwork of Kosuke Morizumi. You can see it right there, working feverishly. Put that rock right in there.
That little bump.
Over curls on them. maybe just a little bit down weight.
入って9ぐらい。
だからそんな悪くないでしょ、10なら。入っていくんなら。
Here we go. Look at this. Look at these feet. Flying left and right, spinning out and around the rock. Lots of energy in the sweeping technique for Morizumi.
I got a good quarter rock of space.
Okay, I don't mind this.
No, this is certainly safer. I do think a little more ISO, Mark.
Just hit 7/8, 3/4 low, and you roll a little bit in
Yep.
front.
Yep.
It really is a pleasure to watch and listen to this team right now. The specificity with which they are communicating and executing can teach any of you young curlers out there exactly how you want to play this game.
But no, it doesn't always go this smoothly. There are times where you'll hit hiccups, and they haven't hit a lot of those or any speed bumps along the way.
Yeah, of course, but with the confidence they're playing, the hiccups are pretty minor right now. Just a little bit of real estate available for Team Japan. This last rock of the fifth end.
ちょうど7って感じか。
同じぐらいかい。なんか進み具合が。
じゃあ今の
Needing bit of the button.
同じスピードなら。
ここのラインどうだった？下手な13セント。ここ投げたっけこのラインだっけ？このラインドローだったかな。センターのドロー。
そんなもんだね、一緒だね。
Confirming the speed of the ice.
うん、ウェイト良かったよ今。
Working through some of the other shots that they've seen down this path.
So need the button. Last stone here. Fifth end. Facing 3 Canadian counters.
And this stone is
Kosuke.
curling on them.
Morizumi. Yamaguchi. Get to
Diving.
the button. And look at that. Right to it. Nicely done. So a single point makes it a 7-2 game through 5 ends of play. Canada, Japan in the Ford World Men's Curling Championship. Well, third end, and Japan facing a difficult last shot. Has to play this very difficult angle raise takeout.
That's good.
And a nice control weight. Yusuke Morizumi. Sweepers don't like it, but stay close and watch this one pin. Boom, boom, right on top. Unable to get the benefit of that one. Knew they had some options playing it that way, and they get their one. A little grin from both sides on that one. But the fourth end, there would not be smiles on the Japanese side as all those red stones building in the house, and Brad Gushu has this straight back takeout to pick up 5 and blow this one wide open. And just like that, the handful goes on the board. Control. As Brad Gushu and company get the 5. While in the 5th, Morizumi, again, facing multiple Canadian stones, surrounding the button. He has the button to get his single point. Morozumi, Yamaguchi guide this one to the Ford logo, get their one. And we have a 7-2 game after 5 ends. Other games going on in this draw. Switzerland remains up on Italy 3-1, while 3-2 Netherlands over Russia in 6, and the US and Germany 3-3 in 6.
Could be a big end. Oh, yeah. If he hits the stage right there, and then he made that great draw, but it was almost too far. Too far. If he stops it up, you don't have it. Good. Good, good.
That one seems to be curling.
How's your pigs? Good? Well, what? No.
JD 作戦、佐藤 JD の作戦は多分とりあえずスキップジュースくだらねえこと言ってるわって思われる
Well, a look at these numbers through 5 ends and 7-2 the score. Wow, astounding. It's a 7-2 game and Japan's curling 90% as a team.
It all really comes down to a couple of those when they're missing. And there was a key miss in the first end and a key miss on an opportunity in the third end as well. And it's the story of this game so far.
Well, hopefully everyone enjoying our coverage here. Ford World Men's Curling Championship. Feature game, Canada taking on Japan. Featuring the top of the standings, Canadians, and then Japan coming into the draw, sitting in 4th place. If the playoffs started right now, they would be in, coming into the draw. Right there. Really one end, you see the 5 up on the board, 2 forces by Canada.
Yeah, they've had command of the scoreboard all the way along. Japan's made some really great shots. It's just, this Canadian team is just so difficult to keep pace with. And Canada took advantage of a series of misses in that 4th end and really made Japan pay. And now being up so much in the score, Canada's going to try the tick. Jeff Walker's going to get an uncharacteristic miss there.
Yeah. Mark saying, I don't like your numbers being so high. I'm going to... Said he didn't call the best line on that one a little bit. But a little miscue. Morozumi. Look at that, a good bounce back for the younger of the Morozumi brothers.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a tough game earlier today, but they came out with the win. Today he's playing an excellent game. It's looking like a tough opportunity for the win. This rock, albeit really not sitting in the right spot for Japan, and knowing that that double peel is readily available to hard-throwing second Brett Gallant, who's going to be up next. Jeff Walker's going to be asked to come around, beat Japan to the 4-foot.
Just half the 4-foot, guys. I like the weight.
Jeff playing another super steady game.
Line's good. Clean it. It's really curling. Oh, Mark's in. It's over curling.
It's all there.
Half before.
It is.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa.
As we take a look at USA Germany after a delicate little hit and roll by German skip Alexander Baumann. John Schuster needs to do the same in order to take a score of 2.
Yep. Clean. Yep. Hard. Yep. Yep. Hard, boys. Clean. Clean. Right to it. Clean.
Clean's a good thing to hear for sweepers from the U.S. Nice shot. USA scores 2 and 6. Take a 5-3 lead, playing 7.
Well, just going back and forth in that one. They traded singles, traded deuces, and the U.S. gets 2 to go up ahead. See 93% on the game. Yamaguchi continuing the progression, playing better and better each game.
Here we go, Japan again with significant sweeping. Brings that rock right down into the rings.
Third is good.
We're going to see some granite fly here. These 2 stones, my prediction, in a matter of moments, spinning their way into the bin.
Yep. Hard, Mark. Gotta go. Hard, Mark. Really hard. Hard. Okay.
Well, misses that. Pair of stones in the house.
Almost got the bonus, the unlock bonus. Here we go.
We'll spin that one straight back.
Now you can see the misplacement from the Japanese lead second stone. It really set up a very easy double clear, and now Japan is going to spend a couple of rocks trying to put a guard back and hope for an opportunity down the line to force Canada to as tough a shot as possible. And if all things go to normal plan, this will be guard peel, guard peel, guard peel, guard peel, tap split.
Tune in later, we'll find out how that plays
Double
out.
takeout for 1 or the blank.
Yep.
Stay tuned. See if Ann Swisshelm can see the future.
Sometimes my crystal ball's pretty clear. Other times someone misses, and look at this. Another fantastic game for Brett Gallant. Came off a 100% game this morning. Is holding so at 100 this afternoon as we take a look at Italy versus Switzerland.
They blank the 5th, and Italy an opportunity to tie this one up. Just has to hit the rings.
The rock from Amos Mozaner needs just to touch the paint. He'll take 2 points to tie it up with Switzerland with a good shot here in a very important game for both these teams.
Well, big scrub right down. We'll get that in. So 2, we're all square. 3-3. Italy putting on quite a display this week, playing quite well.
And Japan threw up the guard, and Canada is playing the peel.
3 for 3 is Ann Swisshelm in the prediction.
Sometimes there are very clear setups that happen in curling. This is one of those.
And it's all just a matter of waiting to make that play late in the end, wasting a few stones.
Yeah, and Japan's going to wait as long as they can. Tetsuro Shimizu having a really great game at 88%. Guard goes up. Peel call comes out. Mark Nichols.
95 on the game.
This is when we get the choice from Japan. Are they going to freeze down in here? Hope that Brad Gushu makes the nuts the clear, the quadruple, as it were. I mean, the triple, as it were.
There have been some impressive performances at the World Championships over a week, but this is right up there on the level of play by this Canadian side.
だね、
A nice game by Morizumi so far, but would have to be near perfect based on what we're seeing from his opposition. This one's a little heavy.
Yeah, needs to make this and then get a mistake. Well done.
Sets up okay, but
well, it did come down right at the end.
yeah, it did. And it grabbed the curl right there inside the forefoot.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm fine with it.
Mark mentioned picking the middle. I'm not a middle one. That's what I was thinking too. You think? Well,
How far is the 7
you
going?
play it tight. You get the top.
Well, it might
You
spin.
can play to
Go
pick it
this way
if
at
you
all,
pick
or
the
is it-
5.
Let's go for the middle, Mark.
What's that?
Middle.
This one?
Yep.
Look how much you can see of that middle one.
I like it, Brad. It's good.
The confidence there. Mark likes it. All right, let's go for it.
Yeah, I mean, we can see a third of that thing there. It's
Plenty.
looking really big. Everything's just looking big. The targets are looking big. Everything's looking very clear. And
Well, triple digits.
this one's curled a little bit. He might take the top one. We'll see what happens.
No, they knew that was an option. If it did
Yep.
overcurl a little bit, it wasn't the end of the world.
Curled a long way. Yeah. Almost the same result.
Shot.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good result because it got some separation.
ああ、いいと思います。ロールしたらステイでいってんだもんね。こっちも同じだね。
Well, that top one went out pretty easily and
15。
leaves their red one at the back. Second shot.
That's about as much of a miss as we've seen out of Brad Gushu pretty much this entire week.
He's had 2 perfect games. I haven't seen. You rarely see 1, let alone 2 in a week at this level at the World Curling Championship.
Well, this little bit of an opportunity for Team Japan needs to be capitalized on.
そうだね。
And just the straight freeze to the back one.
Sweeper's going so hard again. Just every rock. Now they're looking.
But over curls, comes up short.
Yeah, no, nose is good.
Double, score 2, and
Yeah, like
Very low.
what
we
might
got
be
one.
yeah, if we
enough.
get a little low,
Yeah, and even if they dead jam it nose,
unlucky, it'd pop in.
They get their one.
they get one.
Yeah. It's the minimum there, right?
The only real danger is over curling
A little bit, and
yeah, I mean, actually, they'd have to over curl quite a bit, which.
don't think this one will with the weight he's throwing.
Yeah. The one thing is the center lines have been a little bit jumpy. You just heard Brad on the other side of the center line saying, boy, that curled a lot on the peel. And this one's grabbed the center line. Is this an opportunity for Japan?
No, kicks it far enough, and they will get their one. Make it an 8-2 game. So Gusha will head down. He only gets his single, but still a commanding lead after 6.
いや、ね、1投目と同じだったら。
In the universe that is distinctively curling, the stars have now aligned to deliver the world's ultimate showdown to the world's entertainment capital. Whether you're a storied veteran of events past or a future superfan anxious to attend your first, this is the one. The 2018 World Men's in Las Vegas with our most popular package, the 9-day, 10-night hit and stay for 2 people for just $20.29.
Las Vegas rocks.
Well, look at the lights up above in the rafters of the Northlands Coliseum. You see the trophy on the video board, the new trophy that will be presented for the first time at this Ford World Men's Curling Championship.
Pull 4, guys. This is a pretty good pass.
And the
Canadian-
front runners for that tournament, for that trophy right now is definitely Team Canada. As they've got their 8-2 lead, playing the 7th end against Team Japan. Now, the rest of this game for Team Japan is going to be about their communication, generating a couple of made shots, building their confidence that they can take into their night off, something positive to come away from this game, and bring back here with them tomorrow for a big 2-game day, which will be very important. And Japan's got a tough road. They play Switzerland and China tomorrow. Corner guard from Kosuke Morizumi slips a little bit deep maybe, and a little bit wide on the rings, as you can see there.
Fight the 4, guys. Keep sweeping this one because it curls at the end. Line's tight. Wait. No. Keep going. Yep, stay on it, Mark. Stay on it. Stay on it. Stay on it. Hey, Jeff.
Well, overcurls a little bit.
Which Jeff Walker warned them that was what was going to happen. This rock finishes a little bit more, he said, after release. And so it does. This gives a little bit of an opportunity for Japan. They need to make this freeze.
Well, they can't afford to be off. They need to make every single shot from here on. 4 ends remaining, 6 points down.
Yeah, and they need to hope for Team Canada to
Numerous mistakes.
have a couple of half shots and some full misses along the way.
Normal. A little hard.
Whoa.
Clean. Whoa.
Whoa. Off. Off. Okay, good shot.
Well, blast that one out, roll it off the one corner. Again, as you said, Ann, tight to the rings. It is Canada line 2. This is draw 13, Ford World Men's Curling Championship. And Swiss home, myself, Luke Coley.
14秒近いぐらい感じに見えたね。
So Japan's going to try and activate that corner guard. That's nice to see. Japan being a little bit lighthearted given the challenging circumstances that they're facing.
'Well, we'll look over Italy and Switzerland. 3-3 in the 7th end.
Italy putting the pressure on Switzerland. Not sure who's second count, but by virtue of this broom placement, looks like Benoit Schwartz is being asked to draw a little bit better than full 8 foot. So Italy must be sitting 1 and 2.
Yeah, it did look with the overhead we got there briefly. It looked like it was 1-2 for Italy, including that one in the 12 foot.
And just a delicate little clean as the Swiss rock comes into the 4 foot.
Well, nicely done. They get their 1. It's a tough finish for Switzerland. They looking to win their 7th straight. They lead 4-3. Switzerland still has Sweden tonight, then Japan tomorrow, and China on the last day of round robin. So some quality opponents to finish out round robin. Hoping to hear the cowbell and the Hopf Swiss.
Yeah, and right now they're facing a hard-charging Italian team. They need to stay focused here, get the win now, worry about next guy next.
14.8ずっと入ってきて、じゃあ14秒ちょい切るか切らないかぐらい。
So after Canada peels the corner guard, Japan wisely using whatever space and real estate they've got. I think they're trying to draw the back of the house around the Canadian rock and the top of the 8 foot. And this one's coming up a little bit light. Sweepers back off it and move to plan B. It's really hard to throw those draws to the back of the house. You train yourself so significantly to stay above the tee line, give your rock to the sweepers, and all of a sudden you get this unique opportunity to go to the back 12 foot. And
We've seen both, so
it's hard to get yourself to throw it that hard.
what am I playing?
You're hitting about a third. The out.
Looks like no ice, eh?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
did say the out, didn't you?
Yeah. I didn't think we were playing this shot.
Double and yellows.
Yeah.
So this is an extraordinary double.
One straight, eh?
Yeah.
Just want to make sure, because at one point I thought they had talked about just a short hit and roll.
Hit and roll, and that's pretty tough ice for
Yeah, that's a different
a hit and a flop.
different weight that you're throwing.
Clean. Whoa. Whoa. Clean. Yes. 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 Hard.
Does he
Well,
have this challenging?
Wanting both.
Good shot.
And he's got it. Wow.
Spectacular.
Just absolutely incredible. Mark, what am I playing? Well,
okay,
what
the
you're
double?
playing is the cross house double, where you just miss both of the Canadian stones in the rings. And a little good sweeping to teammate Brett Gallant.
They're on quite the ride, this
You know, this
Brad Gushu team.
their first Brad's first Canadian championship at men's level play. He is wasting no moment out there. He is going to take advantage of everything. And it is really a pleasure to watch right now.
Trying to come around again, that one just a little tap.
It's not a pleasure to play against, but a pleasure to watch.
No. They have been on a roll, as we'll see the open hit now for Mark Nichols. Jump over, USA, Germany. USA, it's like line 3. Alexander Baumann. And can he get the nose to make the double?
Yeah, he needs a nose hit here and a double and a score of 1 to pull within 1 of the United States. As he settles himself in the hack, gets ready for this counterclockwise rotating double takeout right down the center line. Must be close.
Broom in the air from Weisgeb Herberg, and it is a single. So Germany cuts into the lead. It is 5-4 after 7. The U.S. leading, and the way things stand right now, if they ended, the U.S. would jump ahead of Japan. Japan trying to wrap one around, goes deep.
That elusive draw to the back of the rings. And they get it. Canada believes that they can use hack weight, get around their own rock, just touch the Japanese rock, push it out of the rings.
Second hack, yep.
Japan wondering, what can we learn from this situation?
It's back there, right? So you can get some curl.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking it's minimum.
Is there anything we can take from this game that, you know, they're going to hope to play this team again? We know that with a win here, Team Canada moves into the 1-2 game by virtue of their record.
Hack.
And a clear path to
Gives them that second chance in the playoffs in the 1-2, where winner goes to the final, loser drops to the semifinal. Quietly down to that back yellow to lie 4.
and to roll away. I mean, there's nothing to freeze back there. There's very little anything that is available to Japan.
Wasn't light at the end, eh?
You only tapped it here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
もう一回かいかまあそれともあそれもありだと思うここでやってもいいけどさ今度もうこの辺に置かれると厳しくない多分ドローしか残らない
Well, the draw behind didn't work. They tried a couple times, it ended up in front, didn't work. Hit and roll behind. So this broom looks like quiet hit and roll. Try and find a way to keep a stone around.
Again, I imagine the conversation is not sure what we can do here, but this is what we're going to try.
Nice thing to see, like I think we've mentioned a few times, is the smiles on their faces still. They're still enjoying being out on the ice. They're They're trailing, and they aren't playing that poorly. Sometimes when you see an A2 game, the team is struggling. It hasn't been the case at all.
No, not at all. And, you know, and just the level of performance from Team Canada is not allowing any team to even stay on the ice with them right now.
Yeah, we said it earlier, just 2 games that they've had to go to the 10th end against Sweden and Switzerland.
And they're the number 2 and 3 ranked teams in the field.
Well, after thinking about the hit, now it goes back to this draw to go around.
Yeah, looking to go back 8 foot, under cover. Knowing he was going to have a tough little double takeout, or hoping he could have that little hack weight double takeout. Reminiscent of the Al Hackner shot.
I still think I need. We can.
And that would be a low percentage chance at a score of 2 to pull within 4. I mean, that's the kind of world Team Japan's facing right now. The challenges. So Canada's going to try and guard that little hack weight double.
Where'd you put that, Brad? There?
Force Japan to draw for 1.
Yeah, guarding the left side of that stone in the 4 foot.
All smiles, which, you know, may seem strange, but hopefully they're appreciating the opportunity to be out here and connect to this fantastic ice and this incredible building with great fans. It is a great environment.
That's okay. Top 12. That's fine.
And in particular, after all the training you do, you throw thousands and thousands of rocks in a curling club, just you or your team and your coach. And now to get here in front of all of these fans, play on our biggest stage of the year.
Stop, Rock. Stop.
It's a great opportunity.
Well, leaves a little bit of an opening.
Well, it's there. That's all they need.
A miss from Brad Gushu.
Yeah, so I wonder if this little hack weight, he needs to hit basically what he can see with about hack to board weight. He might be playing a little bit more weight than that.
ほぼまっすぐだろ。十分すぎるっていうかちょうどだね。8秒。
It's the last rock of the 7th end.
The usual rock back on the hack and kick out for the final stone.
Yep.
Definitely more than the hack weight.
Yep, he's playing normal to peel.
And will crash on the front, go through, and a steal of 2. And that should be it. There it is. The handshakes come out. As it is a victory for Team Canada as they knock off Japan. Canada will guarantee a spot in the 1-2 with that 10-2 convincing win. Well, crowd saluting both sides. Well, we will slide over Sheet D, USA, Germany to continue our coverage of Draw 13. As Tyler George and Team USA gets through the tight port, hits, rolls away to lie 3. It is Team USA with the hammer in this 8th end. Have a 5-4 advantage. Manuel Walter, 3rd for this German side.
Etwas kürzer. Etwas kürzer. Noch nicht. Achtung, Job. Job.
Well, through the hole. Where will it go? Is it actually over curls? It sits for 3rd shot.
I can make it with the out or the in.
What's that?
I can make it with the out or the in. Just
Which one do you like better?
Hole with the in.
What's that?
It's a little tougher hole with the in, but
Yeah.
better line.
You're just trying to go here, right?
Yeah. You see anything else?
Not really. The only problem with the in is we move either one of those, it makes their life easier, right?
Yeah.
So I think maybe it's the out to get here. You don't have to be that close to that guard. Yeah, go in. I watched their rock.
Well, John thinking it through which way to go at that one. Likes the result if they play the intern.
Close.
Stay close.
Whoa, got a curl.
Whoa, off.
Really got a curl. Stay close.
It'll go though.
Close.
Close.
Yes,
Yes, yes.
yes.
Hard.
Hard.
Whoa, whoa. Yeah, yeah. Hard.
Well, all about the line. They want to just sit on the corner of that Yellowstone.
That's really good. That's really good. That's really good. He's got to play the back anyway, so we'll take that all day. Screws his angles in the center big time. You got 3rd.
Mein Draw, der nicht gespielt hat, der wäre da vorbeigekommen.
That looked like it from here.
Die Frage ist, wie du da hinkommen willst. Die Frage ist, wie willst du da hinkommen? Wie willst du an den hinkommen? Ja, der geht doch geil. Ich würde rumgehen. You cut really hard. Was heißt, der muss erstmal weg sein dann, Ryan. Der muss dann auch erstmal weglaufen.
Well, trying to determine where they go to try and get at it. Try and pick the one off the top of the button.
Also das Problem ist ja, wenn der weg ist, dann wird er nochmal da durch den wegschieben. Wenn wir da nichts machen. Also ich würde den Freeze spielen, aber wie ihr wollt. Ich würde auf jeden Fall auf der Seite was machen. Entweder den Freeze oder vorne drauf.
Ja, wo gehen wir da Eis? Dass wir da überhaupt hinkommen?
Einen kleinen Tick mehr als...
Da kommen wir ja gar nicht hin.
A long discussion here for Germany
Ganz vorbeikommen und dahin.
without the hammer in the 8th end. We are now on sheet D. They're going to go to the wide side with the intern. Try and freeze to that stone, back 4 foot.
Brauchen wir da? Der andere liegt da hinten rum. Hä? Hä? Ich denke schon, ja. Sauber? Sauber? Yep. Hard! Hard, go! Linie ist gut! Hard! Hard, go, go!
We're really going wide to try and get around and get this one to the back of the 4 foot.
Hard, was geht? Go, 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 go!
It will come up short.
I mean, I guess if I were ever to do this now, I could take this away. How about we just peel the guard right now?
Peel the guard, yeah, he doesn't have anywhere to go, right?
Well, we peel the guard and he makes this, then this rock's open, right?
Makes what?
Just makes this tap in
Taps
here,
that in.
or runs it in, it's
Fine.
wide open. Well, that's buried, but
Peel the guard.
peel the guard?
What's he got?
All right, peel it.
Peel
Peel
the
the
guard,
guard.
huh? He's got nothing. All he can do is tap this.
That's all I can do.
He could come to here and try to do that, I guess.
And then what? I guess Matt's kind of right. He
He
can
has-
make that
he
without
has
us
to
feeling the
make
guard.
this. You want to call time?
Yeah, timeout. Timeout.
Timeout.
Well, they're going to call a timeout. Talk about this one.
Then we make that really easy for him to hit and roll. You can't peel that
Yeah,
guy.
that makes it easier for him.
They had pretty much settled on the hit and or the peel of the guard.
We talked about running this one initially, but no, I don't
Okay,
think
let's say if we do. Yeah, let's do
right. But I can play it soft. No, I
I'm
know.
thinking about peeling the guard, but it gives him this.
It makes that easier, at
it's
least.
Tough. Well, if he wrecked the guard, he's not making that shot with the center. The center one doesn't change this shot.
That's what I thought too.
Just make him make it.
Yep. This one right here, all day. Well, what?
It's either that
Who,
filler.
me? Yeah. Nah, I don't know. I don't think I can get enough of that. If he rolls dead under there, I'm gonna have to somehow just tap ours. He might not even be able to get shot with the roll, can he?
We're definitely still 2.
Yeah. Okay. Let's peel the guard.
I think that's the
Still.
shot.
Make sure we get 2.
Yep.
Then maybe 3.
You like this?
Yeah, I like this.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's a game shot. If he doesn't make it, the game's over. So.
Well,
Hey,
Coach
John.
Phil Drobnik coming out, just reinforcing. He likes their thought process. The peel of the guard, they just
a ridiculous amount of pressure on him. So
Take a look. United States, the Red Rocks, Germany, yellow.
Whoa, whoa.
clean, clean.
Whoa,
Whoa.
clean.
John Schuster having an outstanding game at 88% for Team USA. Executes the simple wide open peel.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of skips get to go and throw guards or peel guards. And there he gets to peel the guard and opening things up, put the pressure on his opponent.
Yeah, and John Schuster's assessment that Alex Baumann will be left with a ridiculously hard shot.
Weil der halt, ist halt die Frage, wie du den spielen willst. Ob du den als Draw spielst oder musst fast als Hackway spielen und dann wird er sehr eng, oder?
Pretty true.
Als Tor könnte er hier wahrscheinlich zu viel.
Ja, genau. Oder wir machen den, wie du gesagt hast. Und dann
Ja, ich
probieren
bin
können
mir
wir
aber
den.
jetzt doch nicht sicher, ob man überhaupt alles.
Well, they decide there. Italy, Switzerland, 4-3 game in the 8th end. It is Italy with last stone. Almost Maziner. A rocket coming, trying to get that one off the button. And can't quite back it up enough. He tried to go around the horn and push it up. Solid effort from the Italian 4th stone thrower. So a 2-point lead for Switzerland there. trying to set up a battle of one-loss teams tonight as they'll take on Sweden.
Yeah! Yeah! Hard! Hard! Go!
Up weight, looking for a run triple.
And kicks it over. Not far enough. It's going to be the open hit to score 3.
As John Schuster said, they were going to leave him a ridiculously hard shot. Here we go.
Very close to this one. But the problem when playing that, you're losing your shooter too. And a real tough way for all of those to go. Facing another bundle. It was Alexander Bauman. Couldn't get his team out of it. Now John Schuster. Last stone hit for 3.
Clean. 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 Clean all the way down.
Right to it.
Clean all the way down.
Matt.
Clean.
Dream words to the sweeper.
Hang on.
Ooh.
Well, before they move them, they make sure it does stick around.
Yeah, and that's 3 for USA.
Good end, fellas.
And an 8-4 lead for Team USA, trying to improve to 5-3.
Kind of was.
No, that actually your second shot's at that.
In the universe that is distinctively curling, the stars have now aligned to deliver the world's ultimate showdown to the world's entertainment capital. Whether you're a storied veteran of events past or a future superfan anxious to attend your first, this is the one. The 2018 World Men's in Las Vegas with our most popular package, the 9-day, 10-night hit and stay for 2 people for just $20.29.
Las Vegas rocks.
Well, we have a lineup change in this one. Joe Polo will come into the game. Get a couple of practice slides, stretch it out again, warm up after being on the bench for 8 ends.
Yeah, Joe's coming into the game for USA second, Matt Hamilton.
Well, and Joe, no stranger to playing with John Schuster, their teammates when they played with Pete Fenson on an Olympic bronze medal run in 2006.
Yeah, and Joe, coming off last year's excellent play at the World Championship for mixed doubles, he and his teammate took the bronze medal.
Really close. 6-7.
The new full medal Olympic discipline for the sport of curling.
Yeah, it's got some definite excitement out there. A lot of attention for a while. It was had the World Championship, and it didn't quite grasp all the players at the world that are playing at the World Men's and World Women's Championship. And now you're getting the cream of the cream to take part, because they don't get out of their country playing with the traditional curling style. They're going to give it a shot at the World mixed doubles to get to the Olympics.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for the athletes in our sport.
Oh, it's easy with Joey out there.
Jeez. We're trying to warm you up, son.
Give Joe Polo some credit for sweeping that first stone perfectly. So we get a look at Ryan
Ryan
Sherrard.
91% on the game so far. We'll try and get the corner guards, and it's been a back and forth game until a force by the U.S. in 7, and then cracking it open with 3 and 8.
Yeah, USA's really actually had a command of that scoreboard. They stole the first point of the game, and then they've scored 2 or more every time they've had the hammer since then. And they may have had a little bit of difficulty forcing Germany in a single end, but other than that, USA has had firm control.
Whoa, step! Whoa! Whoa! Yeah! Yeah! Hard! Hard! No, right to it!
Well, the tick shot can't push that one to the boards.
I was saying you have to do stay roll.
The board weight
Try, buddy.
tick on the corner guard.
I think it was a little closer to center, but
That's about as
yeah,
upset
that's
as you
probably
see
there,
John Landsteiner get.
Sometimes having to check to see he's still breathing over there.
He's a pretty calm guy, which I think is pretty perfect for the combination of players on that team. If you were to add one more up-level personality, you might have a conflagration that is uncontainable.
Sunrise, go.
Well, I said it earlier in the game when we were doing our feature game of Canada-Japan before it started. With U.S. over here, knowing that Japan's a game ahead of them, now that they've seen it's over, they know they're off the ice. They know they're in a good position. Now do you start thinking, okay, we control what we can do.
Yeah, and USA's destiny is in their own hands. They're looking for a spot in the 3-4 game at this point. There may be an outside chance at the 1-2, but it seems unlikely with Switzerland and Sweden up above them.
Yeah, and 2 games ahead, you'd need
A couple of unique occurrences that are out of your control, but the things that are firmly in your control, you are taking care of right now as Team USA. That said, Daniel Erberg from Germany looking to put up a corner guard.
Yep.
Try to generate their score of 2, and maybe you get a half shot from USA somewhere along the line, and a 3 comes into play.
no double this time. Straight off.
So Joe Polo is about to, as we take a look at the standings. There you can see what's going to happen. Italy's out on the ice. They can hold pace with USA. Japan already dropping that game. USA catches up and actually moves in front by virtue of the head-to-head.
100%.
Unless they called that first one a double.
Right.
Ist gleich, ist gleich. Easy.
Get on it.
Pretty predictable strategy choices here at this point. Nicely played.
Yeah, the U.S. put 1 into the house, tried a tick shot, but wasn't successful, just barely.
Yeah, they almost were successful in ticking the corner to the boards a little bit. Tyler clearing his head.
I'm just going to try and clear the front.
Just a single peel here.
Lead. All right, talk it through.
Well, as they clear that one, we'll look over, see Switzerland lying 2
I wasn't expecting it to be so
on
soft.
Amos
Came over
Mosner
for a stick here, like,
in turn draw.
Last rock, he needs full 8 foot.
Solo velocità, linea buona.
Front end really working this one, trying to drag it. They need to go. Needs to go, no problem. Italy pulls within one. They're going to need to steal in order to take this game. Switzerland 5, Italy 4 after 9.
And that Italy team has turned some heads this week. Many coming in, have put them in this position where they're at. Similar to the U.S., they control how they finish. All the games rest of the way. They got Scotland, Norway, and Canada to finish.
Yeah, they definitely have a tough road on the finishing side, but what Italy must be taking from this event is just really impressive. It's a younger team, except for their skip, a very experienced Joël Retornaz, and they're showing great promise. So after that little takeout in the back of the rings, Manuel Walter is going to try and freeze this rock to the face.
Etwas kürzer.
Rein!
Yep. Yep.
Nur hier.
Da ist er. Da ist er.
No, they elected to play just the straight draw underneath the corner. They'll make their double takeout later in the end. Being down 4, great choice.
Give me just another inch.
It's the danger stone, the one that can cost you 3. As John Schuster will head down. Has been solid throughout. John, a bronze medalist at last year's World Championship. This entire team,
Yeah,
bronze
this exact
medalist.
team.
Would love to move up on the podium. 1 or 2 step, probably 2 steps ideally, but 1 would be, I'm sure he would go home happy if another medal.
Yeah, I think their hopes are pretty high coming into this event.
I get nervous on those inside outers.
After the bronze medal last year, they definitely want to improve on that, and they're really looking to set themselves up for a high-level performance at USA's Olympic trials and hopefully the Olympic Games in Pyeongchang next February.
Hört den wieder weg, wenn wir echt hier liegen.
Er schießt eh. Er ist viel vorne, er schießt eh.
Ja, er schießt nur den weg. Dann schießt er nur den weg.
Halb rollen. Nur bis da. Oder?
Hast halt den Double probiert da eh. Der war was ist Nase?
Komm, mach irgendeinen. Egal. Welchen du willst.
Oh, den einfach. 10?
Yep.
This German skip's been fun to watch this week, though. He really loves playing this game, and you can see it. He enjoys it. He enjoys the challenges. He might get a little frustrated at times with outcomes, but really embraces the opportunities that are out there for him. And like every other team here, Germany looking to garner a couple of good performances and set themselves up to make it to the Olympic Games.
Vor weg! Vor weg!
Well, really needed to hold the shooter. They're trying to roll in front and rolls out.
Yeah, it just ran on him a little bit on that center line.
Staying's not important, right? So, I mean, we roll in front of it's great. Put it on the center of the rock.
To what you just threw.
Okay. Yeah.
Try to roll it a foot your way.
So that rollout puts very little pressure on Team USA. It's a wide open takeout for the most part. They select a pretty tight broom.
Yep, hard. Yep. Hard right.
Joe Polo getting his work this end.
Did not take long for him to have to shed the jacket.
Sorry, Joe. Kind of a chicken throw.
And will hit, roll out.
Like how John says, kind of a chicken throw.
Didn't want to be outside.
Yeah, he was not gonna be wide on that.
But that was the tolerance on that. The error side was to miss it low and roll out.
Yeah, USA doesn't need any points. They're up by 4. Just simple elimination of the German rocks.
It looks like they will hit this one, take their one, and try and get 2 guards up in the, oh, that will be it. They will take the one and concede.
Good game, Alex. Good luck, buddy. Keep playing hard.
Well, good sportsmanship between both sides there, as Joe Polo gets on into the action as well. As it is an 8-5 victory for Team USA. They now move to 5-3 with that win.
Yeah, I gotta grab our shooter. I'll grab
What a
it.
nice little 15 minutes it was. If you shoot
know if it's
100
ours,
and
but
win
okay.
the 50-50.
That's ham.
Well, we'll now slide over to the 10th end, Italy and Switzerland. 5-4 Switzerland lead. They have the Yellowstones, Italy with the red. 1 point lead for the Swiss. We are in second stones. Peter de Cruz.
He is the skip of this team. He calls the game. He throws second stones. So he guides the strategy and tactical choices. And knowing they've got a single point lead and the last rock advantage here in this final end of the game. Peeling the guard.
Yeah, a couple of tick shots were made nicely. You see where they sit as Italy tried to get the centerline guards up, but Switzerland made the ticks.
Yeah, and in a similar kind of structure, Joel Retonaz is the skip for Team Italy. He throws the third stones.
Really something that changed early 2000-ish, where see a player skipping and having another player throwing those final stones.
Yeah, Randy Furby. And the Furby 4. David Nedowin was the thrower of the last rocks, where Randy called the game to great success.
3 world championships. They'll try and put the high guard out in front. As I see Claudio Pat's already waiting to throw this one.
Yeah, he knows exactly what shot he's going to get. It's just which turn.
Do have a few stones they got to deal with to make sure that they don't hit one of those catchers.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Italy is hoping happens. They're going to try and set these guards a little long and hope that they get some kind of a bounce somewhere. And Italy's called a timeout after the great shot by Claudio Pets.
Well, they still got 3 minutes of thinking time on this one.
So Italy's running through their options as head coach for the Italian program. Very familiar coach, Roger Schmidt, comes to the ice surface.
Ooh, you got any places? Huh?
Well, yeah, probably guard.
Yeah. And then with
Not too high like the last one, because he can
Good
run
one.
it on top of the yellows and on top of the red one.
yeah, yeah. So you come about a meter more.
Yeah, we have to hope for a jam somewhere.
That's right.
And make sure we have our 2 in the house at the end.
And then
So we'll probably draw here.
from here, yeah.
I don't know if we can go with first one already.
Huh?
Almost first one. And see what he lives as.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
We try one more guard.
One more.
One more guard. Then we might draw
Then we go
the
ambus.
side here. If we can
Yeah.
vary half. He's going to probably play on the
He's-
yellow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So maybe we go a bit deeper. We can go a bit deeper with his first one.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Deep with the first one.
Let's see what he leaves us.
Yeah.
If we're half buried deep
Okay.
here, you might try the round back or this way, but I'm not sure if it touches, rolls in.
Yeah,
You just have to make sure he doesn't do this, and then his second shot with the second one.
We're over here, right?
Yeah.
So that he's got a challenge, so he can't run it back. He wants to run for sure, yeah.
So okay, we go with one more guard and then
Yeah.
we go in.
I think so. Yeah, okay.
See?
Yeah, nothing else to work with, so.
Roger, one of the calmest coaches the game has ever seen, really just confirming that Skip Joel Retornaz is on the right path.
Really impressive the way Joel talked that one through, of all kinds of different thoughts of where you need to be with it. They're all on the same page of throwing the guard, but it's impressive. When we do come around, we got to be high enough that if he crashes on the yellow and rolls both in, he doesn't out with both stones.
Yeah, he doesn't sit 1 and 2.
What else impressive? The beard.
Tira, tira.
It is officially the best beard here at the World Championship.
Easy.
For certain, the best beard on the ice.
Hard. Hard. Ancora Danda, finché la ferma. Hard, hard, hard. Go, go, go.
And that's nice too. It's a well-executed shot after a timeout. We always know that that's a little bit tricky for some teams. The timeout takes them out of their rhythm, takes them out of their communication
Bonne
pace.
moitié, c'est bon. Enfin, ouais. Non. Bonne moitié, c'est bon, 2 tiers.
They went a little deeper, maybe get a jam, something they can
Yeah,
have
maybe
something to work with.
they're hoping that this one bounces towards the ring somehow.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. No, 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 no. Up, 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 up. Okay.
Oh, and right through the hole.
Right in between?
Almost.
Faut vraiment l'amener dessus, fallait prendre.
Almost. Now, per the discussion with their coach, this one should be a draw in. A little bit deep, full 12 foot for Amos Mozanar and Team Italy. Really steady play from this rookie Skip at the World Championship. Needs a little bit of the 12 foot.
Sicura 5. Linea buona. Linea buona. 5. 5-1. Dove?
Yeah, they talked a solid game. Now it's the execution part.
Yeah, and they know they're going to need a miss out of Switzerland. There's really not much they can do about that, but what they can do is make Switzerland's rocks as difficult and challenging as possible.
And a little bit further is where they wanted to put that stone. They were trying to get it a little bit deeper.
Il va revenir là, je pense. S'il vient là, on fait une autre. Je préfère. Avec lui?
OK.
Ouais.
Peter de Cruz confirming
Je
with
préfère pas rester. Si tu restes là, ça fait chier, quoi. Hein?
his team exactly where they want this rock to go. Goal 1, remove the Italian stone. Goal 2, roll to biting the forefoot above the tee line. Benoit Schwartz.
Good numbers for the fourth stone thrower.
He's really played quite steady through the entire tournament.
Trying to win, and they'll just peel it straight out. They didn't want to risk having it over curl.
Yeah, okay.
Trying to win their 7th straight game.
Sì, prima era in qua. Daria qua così.
Was a lot of pressure coming into this event for Switzerland, knowing where they finished last year at the World Championship, trying to qualify Switzerland for the Olympics.
Yeah, they sat with only 4 points in 9th place. So they finished 9th at the last year's World Championship. They have 4 points. Only the top 7 teams after 2 years of qualification from World Championship get automatic spots into the Olympic Games. Korea, as the host nation, gets the 8th spot, or the 1st spot, however you want to look at it. And there's 2 spots available for other teams that have played at the world level and in a regional qualifier next December.
Well, it comes down. Broom goes down. Looks like the draw for a single point to pick up the win.
You know, this is the most Italy and Joël Retonaz could have hoped for. Benoit Schwarz and Team Switzerland are drawing against game. So Italy sits 1 and 2. If something were to go wrong with this shot, they can win the game. Knowing they needed a miss, this would be the most advantageous time to get it. But Benoit Schwarz and Valentin Tanner and Claudio Patz going to do everything they can to make sure the stone has no trouble finding full 8-foot or better.
Just going back and forth between the 2 sweepers of cleaning it, guiding it in. Not a problem. Right to the button for 1 and the win. And that makes it a 6-4 win for Switzerland. So they improve to a 7-1 record. Sets up a fun game against Sweden tonight. Both teams at 7-1. Good chance winner of that game be in the 1-2 game.
Right, and they get the privilege of playing Canada in the 1-2 game.
You did well. What do you get? We get to play a team that hasn't lost yet.
It's hardly had a half shot. But this young skip, Benoit Schwarz, fully capable of achieving some great things, as he's shown us all week. We'll shift to the last game available out here in this afternoon's draw. Russia and the Netherlands. Playoffs are not on the line here, but what is the first win for one of these 2 teams. So it is a huge game for both of them. Alexei Timofev, skip for Team Russia, makes a beautiful draw to sit fully on the button underneath cover.
Well, very nice. Lying 2. Jaap van Dorp looking to make this double.
The young Dutch team leads by 1. This is the last rock of the 10th end.
One team will get their first victory at the World Championship.
If he can make the double, the Netherlands get the victory. If he only removes 1, we go to bonus curling.
Yep. 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 Hard. Yep. Oh. Yep. Oh.
Well, close. Get it out far enough. And there it is. Look at that reaction. Great double for the win, and high fives all around there. As it is victory for Netherlands. They knock off Russia.
The youngest team in the field gets their first win. Boy, you can see just the joy and celebration from a well-made double takeout for the win.
Tough shot to have to win the game too. 6-4 the final, Netherlands. The Dutch celebrate the win, and look at this one, that double takeout. Great line call, and Wouter Hooskin's able to sweep that one, make sure it gets out. Don't tell them they're not playing for much. They get their first win. Great to see the enthusiasm. our feature game here in draw 13, Canada, Japan. And the third end, a lot of stones in the middle. And it's a raised takeout. Yusuke Morizumi has to get this one to the one in the forefoot. A little wide, but able to get the little bounce off the side. Remove shot stone. Grins from both skips, but a single point for Japan. Fourth end, not going to be many smiles for Japan after this one, as Brad Gushu, the intern, short raised takeout to put a handful up on the board. And this, just like that, handful on the board. Now high fives for Brad Gushu after getting 5. In the fifth end, Gushu just looking to avoid giving up the big end, not allow Japan to get back in it. As the button surrounded, Yusuke Morizumi now needs the intern draw to the button. And right to the button to get their 1. And after a steal in 7, that would make it 10-2. That was enough for Japan. They concede. Canada with the win. They move to 9-0 and clinch a spot in the playoffs and a spot in the 1-2 game. And look at the other results from this draw. It's Switzerland upending Italy, while Netherlands knocks off Russia for their first win. And the U.S. controls their destiny with a win 8-5 over Germany. We will take a look at the standings after 13 sessions. It's Canada, 9-0 with the Cuba side, and qualified for the playoff round. Switzerland and Sweden at 7-1, while the U.S. alone in 4th right now, just ahead of Japan at 5-4. Then China and Italy at 4-4. Norway, Scotland at 3-5. Need some help and to win. Germany at 2-6, followed by Netherlands 1-8, and Russia rounds out the field.
Brad, congratulations on qualifying for the 1-2 game in the playoffs.
Yeah, we're excited. It's where we want to be. Now we just got to make sure tomorrow we win one of our games to get the hammer.
Yeah, so with that, the last couple of games, you have not finished a game. Does that cause any kind of concern for you leading into the playoffs and the end of the round robin?
Not really. I think the only real concern from our standpoint is just how the ice is going to hold up and change in those last couple ends. I think from a competition standpoint, we came from a very tough Brier only a couple weeks ago, so we know how to handle ourselves in those situations. I think just the ice would be the biggest concern.
Okay, and with that, how are you going to prepare for ends 8, 9, and 10?
Well, I think we're very good at reading the ice, so we'll kind of see how it evolves as the game goes on. I'm not real concerned. It is a little bit of a concern, but I think we can adapt, and hopefully we have a lead in that situation where we can just play some big weights and kind of get through it.
Yeah, so hopefully having a lead. You guys have easily had leads, and you've been very fun to watch, but I don't know you've been much fun to play against so far.
Yeah, we've gotten up early in games and been able to control it, and I think we have a good grasp of the ice. We're making a lot of shots, and even though we're getting some misses from other teams to get that lopsided score, I think we're forcing teams into those misses, and hopefully our team can continue to play that way as we enter the weekend.
Great. Well, again, congratulations. Good luck in your next couple.
Thank you.
Brad Gushu into the 1-2 game here in Edmonton. Francois Helm, myself, Luke Coley, entire crew. Thanks for watching the Ford World Men's Curling Championship.